smarter, not harder. Today on the Kizzy Shopping Network. So here on the Shopping Network, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. My curls are deep conditioning. Been awarded well over $50 million in federal government contracts. And my objective is to provide a product or service that's going to help elevate you to the next level while providing you more value than anyone out there in federal government contracting. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate each and every one being here. Hello, Everything by John. You got to get that deep conditioning in. You know, you got to keep it nice and moisturized. And that's right, Muskegon in the house. Shout out to those amazing lions. Okay, so that's right. So got a little blue in the corner. My Detroit Lions, yes. So you didn't come here for that. You came here to know how to price smarter, not harder, and for the offer for today for Kizzy Shopping Network. So I'll get to the offer in a second. First tip, when you are pricing, when you are doing your pricing, okay? First and foremost, y'all, I'm writing it down. It's probably going to be backward. What are the evaluation criteria? What are those? That's first and foremost. Before you even do anything with pricing, I'm often asked, like, so Kizzy, do I add 20%? Do I double it? Somebody wrote me today. They're like, oh my gosh, I got all these price quotes and they were so high. They're like super, super high. What do I do? What is or are the evaluation criteria? What are those? What are those? That's number one. So if the evaluation criteria is lowest price, technically acceptable, lowest price, technically acceptable, you need to know number one. Again, it might be backward, but you got it. What was the previous price? What was the previous price? So you need to find out who was the incumbent, what is their name, what was the contract number, what was the contract value. You need to email the point of contact and call them and find out. Because if not, this is what's going to happen to you. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to you. But first, I'm going to give you the offer for today. So today, because I'm cooking up some good things for you all here at the Kizzy Shopping Network, the offer is our challenge. The challenge begins officially tomorrow, and for every single one of you who buys during the live, you buy before our cutoff. I think the cutoff is midnight. You will be allowed to enter the challenge Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. If that doesn't work, we have a challenge in October. Anyone who makes a purchase today, you will get for free the proposal writing course. So that is the offer. Also, we have my book, winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com. So I'm going to share these with you all in a second. I have some great offers that I am putting together. This is a great opportunity because when you pay for VIP, you get to ask me a question. And I'm also, this is because each and every one of you are so amazing. So I'm giving you a heads up. I am extending the 5-day challenge to a 6-day challenge because we have so many people who are registered, and I've been so humbled and just so grateful for it. So I want to make sure everyone who purchased VIP, you get all of your questions answered. Okay, that's what's most important. And for those of you where maybe $297 is not doable, I have a $97 ticket too. I'll show that here in 1 second. So this is VIP for $297. You get all the recordings. You can ask questions. It's 2 hours. And I usually throw in a couple bonuses. That's amazing. Here, this is the $97 ticket. And what happens is I also will stream through a private Facebook group, and you get access to the private Facebook group just through the duration of the challenge. And you get access to the video for 24 hours and then we pull it. Okay? So that's how it works. So those are 2 offers for today. And I pinned them. Hopefully they show up on pin because I am using Restream today so I can share the screen if I so choose to do so. And in case you wondered, Lions won, beat Atlanta. Okay, so great. I'm glad that you're in the middle of putting together a proposal and you're excited for the challenge. This is great. And I love that you're like, let's get down to business. Okay, so I had talked about what you have to do. Evaluation criteria. When is lowest price technically acceptable? You need to find out what was the previous price. What was that previous price? Because if not, this is what will happen. You will submit a bid and you're going to be super ecstatic about it. And then you're not going to win because your pricing is too high. Someone wrote me privately and they were really devastated because their price was $4,000 higher than the person who ended up winning. $4,000. I mean, I have, there was something I bid on many, many moons ago, and I think we were a little less, I don't know, maybe $700,000 higher than the winner. I mean, it sucks. That's why it's important to ask, is there an incumbent? If so, who are they? What's the contract number? So here's what you do with that, okay? So you get that information. So a great example is there was a 5-year, you heard me right, 5-year janitorial opportunity. And the pricing was like $54,000 for 5 years. So if you know it was $54,000 for 5 years and the work is very similar, you're not going to be able to bid $55,000 for every year. So the next piece about pricing is you have to accept what is before you. You must accept this. Okay? You must accept this. There was somebody else I was working with recently who located, it was pest control, and they got a quote. And this pest control company gave them this crazy quote of like $125 a week. Now listen, in my house, we pay quarterly to some chain pest place. I don't even think it's $200 a quarter. In my condo, I pay a whopping like $60 for the whole year. Now, if this building, if it were like 500,000 square feet, okay. But you have to also put yourself in the government's shoes. Why would they pay $125 a week for pest control if it's a smaller space? They're not, and you will lose. And I'm here to help you with that so you don't lose. For those of you who are just joining, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks, deep conditioning the hair. Got the towel in case some, the little water drips out. It's gross, but it just is. I got double, you bag it up, but it's still, water's in there. So it's really important to take care of yourself, y'all. Self-care is super important. Speaking of that, I didn't get my cards. Okay, y'all, you're going to see my little pastels here. I think you can still hear me. You should be able to. We got to get my cards. I don't really like these. Choosing some cards for you guys. Choosing some cards. We're going to go with, I don't like those. Okay. Thank you all for being patient with me. And feel free to post questions in here. I'm going to get to questions. So we're going to talk all about pricing. I didn't pull a card. Money and manifesting oracle cards. For those of you who don't know, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. You're welcome. You're here on the Kizzy Shopping Network. We have 2 offers. It is our challenge, 5 days, VIP, 2 hours a day. I'm adding an extra day. You're getting 6 days. Okay? For $297, and recordings and bonuses, lifetime access. $97. You get 5 days. I may throw in another day. You get 1 hour Recording's only good for 24 hours. You're going to learn how to close contracts for cash. Okay? So I like to pull a card during the Kizzy Shopping Network. It's very important. Let me see which card kind of comes out, what speaks to, oh, well, one spoke to us. Cash flow. Ooh, this is a good one, y'all. So cash flow, and I'll read it to you. Focus on increasing your cash flow and creating financial abundance. Take inspired action toward your financial goals and watch as your cash flow increases. This is a really good one. And if you're into numerology, the number is 24. So that's why we're talking about pricing today. Pricing helps you with cash flow. This is one of the number one reasons, well, I would say top 3, that businesses go out of business because they don't have cash. You have to have cash. And again, thank you all for your patience. I don't like to leave the video when I'm going live. So please feel free to ask any kind of questions that you have. Getting back to pricing. So the other thing you have to do is you have to put yourself in the mindset of the federal government. Most people never talk about this. They just jump to, here's what you charge, boom, 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 boom. And that's why they don't got any contracts. Because you have to think about them. So going back to my example about pest control, who's paying? Put in the chat. Are you paying $125 a week for pest control? If you are, put yes. Uh-oh, what's private chat mean? I don't even know what this means. Okay, sorry, y'all. I'm in Restream. I'm like, what's private chat? I come, oh, good, James. I'm glad you always do. I mean, I know there's a bit of a delay. I don't see any yeses. So if you wouldn't pay that, then why would the federal government pay it? You gotta be real with yourselves. You gotta ask yourself this. I do it all the time. I just recently bid on some research, right? I like rolled the dice. I was like, I rolled the dice. I don't even play the games with dice. I'm a roulette lady. I was doing the roulette. And I bid like $1.3 million. They were like, we had a meeting with them. It was like an hour long. They said probably 10 times, your pricing is 4 times higher. 4 times. Listen, I rolled the dice because it wasn't lowest price technically acceptable. So when it's not lowest price technically acceptable, and instead the evaluation criteria is based on technical, right? It's based on past performance. It's based on one or multiple resumes. And it says, we are going to base this on best value. You can be bold, right? You can be bold. And I was bold. And then I already knew what they wanted me to charge because they said it was 4 times too high. So we'll see. They may still say, no, they're going to do work with us. But it's still important to know because the government can negotiate with you. They can negotiate with you and ask for a best and final. What's up, Dr. Ford? I'm glad that everybody's here. Y'all are so amazing. Shout out to my Lions. We're going to take over the division. We're going to be the division champs this year. That's all I can say. It's going to happen. And those of you just joining, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. This is the Kizzy Shopping Network. How to price smarter, not harder. Okay? The offer for this evening is the upcoming 5-day challenge, $297 for this link here, $97 for the executive. It's a great deal. Everyone who places an order, you're going to get the proposal writing class for free. And it's all I ask for in exchange is provide feedback. And I'm getting a lot of really good feedback too. The card for today is cash flow. Focus on increasing your cash flow and creating financial abundance, y'all. Abundance. That's what this is about. Take inspired action towards your financial goals and watch as your cash flow increases. That's what this is about. Okay? Listen, I don't know about Dionne Warwick, Papoose 507, but I do know about my gifts. I do know about that. So, probably, and then you got the hair, this adds to it, right? So, but yeah, it's very important. So number one is you have to understand what's the evaluation criteria. If it's lowest price technically acceptable, you must find out what was charged in the past. If they say, oh my gosh, this is a completely new opportunity, then you are in for a ride. So here's what I suggest you do. So if you're into taking notes or anything like that, this is the time to do so. Number one, try to find out what an agency has paid for something similar in the past. You can go on sam.gov. You can go on FPDS. You can just Google it. Fencing, Air Force. Janitorial, State, Department of State. Okay? Next, call and email the point of contact to try to find out, to see if maybe they're going to give you any information about pricing. You'll be amazed at what happens. People are involved. At this point in time, yes, I saw an automatic, what are those cars called that drive you around? I'm like, a robot car. What is going on? I'm just so excited because my Lions won. So like a self-driving car, right? So I saw this video of this woman who ordered a self-driving car and she captured the whole experience. But guess what, y'all? At this point in time, robots and self-driving things are not operating the federal government. Okay? So people are involved. Some people are going to be really strict, like, you cannot call, you can only email, I can't give you information. And then there's others that are going to be like, oh my gosh, what's up, Dr. Ford? Oh my goodness, let me just, and then they tell you everything. And there may be some out there who may say, oh my goodness, that's against the FAR this and DFAR that, and they're not supposed to do that. Okay. So for those of you who are just joining this Kizzy Shopping Network, talk about how to price smarter, not harder. Talking about cash flow, talking about how to get your cash flow up, and that's by pricing smarter, not harder. Next, if you are practicing middleman, make more money method, what happens is you become dependent on your middleman for the price. And this is another huge mistake that's made. So you call, because people out there say, oh, for middleman, they know the thing. You call the painter, the fencer, the floor person, the ceiling person, the whatever person, and they're the expert. They're going to give you a price. Boom, 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 bam, bam. Yeah, and they're going to F you over. Because they're giving you their price with their margins. So if it's the lowest price technically acceptable opportunity, and they're giving you a price of $5,000 a month because they've added in all their profit, you're not going to win because you still have to add your profit in there. Are we understanding this on the pricing part? So type yes if this is resonating with you. If this is resonating with you, type yes. What's up, Curtis from Michigan, or Ann Arbor? Okay, good, good, good. I know Papoose 507, you were probably almost heartbroken when you heard about Remy Ma, although apparently it's not true. Yes, that's right, Shanae. Please do. My goal, and it's on my board over here. Do a quick little turn. Those are my goals. Is to have 1,000 people in my challenge. That's my goal. I know it's going to happen one day. I'm 1,000 people. That's the most number of people we can hold in our Zoom. I think it's 1,000. Yeah. Look, Papoose, you didn't say anything. That's all right. Better put that super chat in there because okay, let me stop messing with you, Papoose 507. Yeah, I know you were sad. I know you were sad. You were about to break all your Remy Ma stuff. She really did? Oh my goodness. Okay. I digress. Let me go. So for those of you just joining, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks, deep conditioning the hair, still amazing, beautiful, curly hair underneath. Card for today, cash flow. Focus on increasing your cash flow. How do you do that? Pricing smarter, not harder. Okay? That's okay, Papoose. I'm cool. I know enough about you anyways. So, here's some questions that y'all have, and I'm going to get back to this. And thank you for engaging with me. And for those of you on the replay, and if you make the purchase, our deal of the day for the challenge, you will more than likely be added to the October challenge, which I will be doing live from Mexico. I'll be in Tulum for a month. Okay. So question is, hold on, there's a couple of things. K Blackman said, sometimes I get the feeling that when people know it's GovCon, they jack up the price. They do. And the difficulty is, and I'm going to get to this question for D. I'm going to leave this up here. The difficulty is people out there are saying you rely on these experts. Well, then the experts are jacking up the price, and a lot of this work is lowest price technically acceptable. So then how are you going to win? You're never going to win. But then if it's something where it's based on your technical approach, resumes, evaluation criteria, some of you are just going to give up, say it's too hard, which is none of y'all. It's the people on the replay. I'm just kidding. It's not y'all. I love you too. I'm just spicy because my Lions won. Seriously, y'all are not giving up because you're GovCon winners. You're not going to give up, but you want to give up. That's the vibe I feel. You want to give up. Okay? Especially when it involves a resume. I had somebody ask me, they said, you know, Kizzy, I found this opportunity. It's this religious position in Maryland. What do I do? How do I get them? You got to post a job opening. We have all entered this space of being an entrepreneur. So it's then doing as entrepreneurs, business owners do. If Coca-Cola needs to hire somebody, they put out a job opening. You got to do the same thing. Okay? But there's a lot of people that are like, I don't want to do that. I just want to call and get a quote for janitorial and win some quick work. Then you'll end up like somebody who reached out recently, and I'm looking forward to helping them. They said that they won an opportunity, I think a while ago, they bid a ton, and then they've never won since. I totally understand that. When I first started out, I had the work that I had, I bid and bid and bid and bid and bid and lost and lost and lost and lost because I didn't know what I was doing. Because your pricing smarter, not harder, is based on evaluation criteria. Period. That's what it's based on. So how does this apply to the middleman? And this is why I have this beautiful comment up here. Is the middleman the best way to start, giving you zero experience and successful track record? Yes, it is one of the greatest ways to start. And I'm going to break down something for you all. Okay, so here we go. So we bid on some work, some critical thinking training, right? And I have an amazing video with Karen on my channel, who used to work for the federal government, and she talked about that she does work for my main company, KPC. So we bid on this opportunity, and it was like a lowest cost, technically acceptable. I mean, the contract was, I don't even think it was more than $6,000. No, it was more than that. I'm trying to think. It was pretty low. I'll just say that. I think it was multiple days of training. It wasn't that much. It was definitely not more than $20,000 because they were basing it on price. So to even get to that price, let me walk you back through it. Okay. Number one, when you win an opportunity, it's easier to negotiate than before you win. So this is what I'm getting at. Normally for training, we'll pay anywhere from $1,000 to maybe $2,500 a day, $1,000 to $2,500 a day. Okay. Then you have travel. I think it was for multiple days. I think it was 2 or 3 days. And the estimate, whoops, this pen's not working on here. $3,000 for travel. Okay. So let's say we split the difference for training. Say it's 2-day training. 1,500, that's 3,000 plus travel at 3,000. So that's 6,000, right? I like, if we have any, we may have in curriculum developers that need to help. We may need to print something. So we may add another, let's just add another 3. Printing materials, I'm not sure if we printed any for this, but we already know a company, Mimeo, they print materials. It's usually a few $100s. We have a price structure in place as far as what we pay people to do curriculum development. So let's say it was $9,000, right? Those are my expenses. So what you're doing is you're identifying all of your expenses, right? So it's technically acceptable, lowest price. So it's $9,000. Then I like 20%. So that's $1,800. $1,080. So in order for me to make my margin, I need to charge $10,800. I said $10,080. $10,800, right? That's what I need to do. So let's say Karen was like, you know what? I know you're offering me $1,500 a day, but I can't do that. I'm going to need $7,000 a day. We'd be like, Karen, we love you, girl. I think that's amazing, but we're not able to pay you that. And then we look for somebody else who has no problem working for $1,500 a day. And that happened with this body of work. We actually asked somebody else who will remain nameless, and they were like, no, it's not enough money. I respect that. I totally respect that. But here's what's ironic. They had no problem giving me that amount of money for something. Offering me that amount of money. You know, the thing is with business, it's not about screwing people over. It's not, and I'm not saying anybody screwing anybody over. It's not about like, oh, let me cash grab. It's about a long-term relationship. That's how I see things. I'm all about a long-term relationship. The card for the day is cash flow. It's not quick money, get rich, quick, die, all that BS. It's not that. It's cash flow. Cash flow is created often through relationships. So the simple fact that Karen said, yes, I have no problem doing this for $1,500, then guess what's going to happen? We're going to want to work with her more and more and more. She's retired. She gets the retirement. And then she knows every time she works with us, she's getting $1,500 or more. That's amazing. I mean, so I know this is a training and development opportunity, but I want you all to see the thought that goes into it. You can sub out training and development for furniture. One of my students just won an opportunity. They bid it at a little over $100,000, and get this, they're buying the furniture for like $85,000. It also applies to products. The only difference with products on how to price smarter, not harder, is you need to get the lowest rate. That's what you need to be able to do, as long as you go back to what is the evaluation criteria. If it's lowest price technically acceptable, you got to go low like Flow Rider, y'all. You got to go low, low, low. So I'm going to take these questions, and thank you all. You're all so amazing. Okay, so Vanessa, in October, I think it's going to be the end of October. October is going to be interesting because I'll be live in Mexico, and I'm not worried about anything in Mexico. I just want to make sure I'm set up properly with my food, water. I'm doing this whole fitness thing because I got to get my, this is really important for me. Yes, I definitely plan on hitting the pyramids. I plan on hitting, I want to do a sound bath. I want to do probably a couple excursions in the water. I got to feel it out. I'm a big energy kind of person, got my cards, I know y'all are, this is only the beginning is all I got to say. I feel wherever I'm supposed to go, I will go. Okay. And then Ken Blackman, yes, it resonates. That's why I stopped going on Unison. It's competitive. It's a competition over how much of your profit you're willing to do without. This is perfect. And I'm going to hit upon this. I see this often in the in the YouTube comments. I'm going to write it out for y'all. What was their profit? What was their profit? How much is the profit? What is their profit? Listen, profit and margins are super important. Take this towel that I have. This is a microfiber towel, right? What do you think this costs? Like $1, 50, 75 cents to create? I don't know. I bought like a pack of them for maybe $14. So are they making a lot of money? Probably, after you factor in all of the materials, the Amazon fees, all of that. They're probably making maybe 50%. Who knows? Does every single business make a profit of 50%? Nope. The restaurants don't. McDonald's don't. Real estate doesn't. But does that mean you can't develop wealth? You can't take your revenues or your profits and invest them and create wealth because you're only getting a 3% profit? Not at all. So, but to work smarter, to the comment, and that is, you don't go on Unison then, which is beautiful, because Unison is a reverse bid platform. You can also win products, different opportunities that require no experience on sam.gov. But what's important is you must be aware of what you want your profit to be. As I demonstrated with this great example I just went through with training, I like 20%. Do we always get 20%? No. There's some contracts I get 80, some contracts I get like negative because I messed up. It happens. You just keep it going. Okay, good. And I want to make sure I just want confirmation that we're all following. This is making sense. Type yes, type live yes, type yes in the replay if this is all resonating and making sense with everyone here. Okay. And this is another part of pricing. And so this one right here from Health, Fit, and Wellness. If I bid on a contract for painting and the contractor says I'd have to buy the paint up front, would the government partially pay for the materials? No. So the other part is you have to have the funding. So somebody reached out to me about an opportunity, and I'm actually going to go over their contract and create a long video about it. And they need over $30,000 for the products. You have to find the $30,000. I have that great video with Isaiah where he won a contract for Samsung phones and he found a factoring company. So that's the other piece to the pricing, is you want to consider, are you taking out a loan, a line of credit, factoring? Either you're going to have to put that in your pricing or you're going to have to eat it, meaning it's going to come out of your profits. It's a doing business charge. I love that you're here, Sam. I love that. Okay, I love all of this. When are you going to accept new mentees? I have my 5-day challenge. For those of you just joining today on the Kizzy Shopping Network, the offer is a 5-day challenge. This is the great place to start. I promise you, I will have a webinar coming out and offering a variety of different mentoring programs and things of that nature. They'll all be pre-recorded. So I definitely will do that. It's just what's most important is I give you all what is the best for you to further take you to the next level. That's what's vital. So soon, I will start releasing more and more opportunities for you all to, take things to the next level. But what's important is everything is designed explicitly, specifically for you. That's what this is about. Okay. Don't forget that Detroit Lions win. Okay. So, okay, good. Submitting a proposal. You're pumped. Great. I'm glad. And if you're in the VIP, ask me questions. Please do. Okay. Checking out the questions. Okay. I'm happy your Lions played well. Salty's Falcons fan. That's okay. It's all right. Okay. We have one right here from Lori. Looking at a contract that says the original updated offers due the 15th. Is it still active and it says inactive date? If the original due date's the 15th, is closed. Think of sam.gov as like a repository. It holds a lot of information. You're more than welcome to email them. I mean, hey, you never know. Everything is possible. So Lori, I would definitely email them, but more than likely it's closed. Right. That's a good point, James. That's why you have Wawas. They have the nasty, I'm just keeping it real. They got that nasty food, y'all. They got the burgers and the hot dogs and the froyo and weird things and processed stuff. And that's why they sell all that. My cage code has been pending since the 6th. Okay, so evil nice guy, do you have a UEI? That's my first question for you. You said a little clarity. It was my experience versus bidding against manufacturers. And I'm glad you brought that up because this is another part of bidding smarter, not harder. I get this all the time. I'm trying to find these products. I call all these vendors and they're rude or they don't want to give it to me or they say they only deal with authorized vendors or they say they're going to increase the price. So here's the deal. Number one, unless you find another manufacturer, it's going to be very difficult to price lower than what they can get it for. The only unless would be, this is a backdoor tip, so get ready to write this down. If you can find somebody, so let's say it's pens, right? So let's say somebody in agency needs 1,000, like these special pens, and maybe you've identified 3 manufacturers and you're like about to give up. Well, if you can identify another company who does a large volume of business regarding these pens, you could get in on their pricing. Because the way it works on products is whoever Logitech uses to create these different electronic products, let me take it back. Whoever the buyer is, that's directly going to Logitech, right? If I'm a buyer and I'm buying 1 million of these little mice, the mouses, my pricing is going to be lower than if you're only buying 2, right? That's how it works. So if you can find somebody who's already part of buying 1 million of these and get in with them, that's a way to lower your pricing. It's going to take some creativity to do that, but it's true. Manufacturers definitely have the upper hand. They definitely have. Sorry for all the shaking there. I was moving my leg. Okay, great. I love this. Thank you all for confirming things for me. I love this. Yes, we needed that factoring info when I reached out to Isaiah to see if I could get that info. No reply back yet. Oh, okay, Papoose. He's probably like, what the heck? Okay. Keep it up. I have been asked to do a video on factoring. What I want to do is find somebody who's legit and does factoring and have them on, because my intent is not to have them to sell you all on their factoring. It's for you all to really understand how it works, okay? And I haven't done factoring in a really long time. We've done lines of credits and loans and stuff. I have a question about my certification. My dad is service disabled vet, not me. And if he passes away, what happens in my business? Well, you're no longer SDVOSB. The only exception would be, good evening, yay, Mac Academy. The only exception would be, I believe they have an exception for spouses. You got to check their website. So going back to how to price smarter, not harder. For those of you that are in those positions, and I can sense it, where you're like, but I don't even know where to begin. What do I do? And what you got to first take a deep breath. Okay. You got to take a deep breath. There's no perfect pricing. There are companies who specialize in helping organizations have a competitive advantage with pricing. Okay. So just understand that. Number two, prices are made up. You know, I don't know why a pen is 10 cents and my earrings are not. It's what we've decided in our country. You know, take glasses. So I wear contacts and I wear glasses too. And I remember, I believe I was in graduate school and one of my classmates, he's from India, really cool guy. And he wore glasses, and I think we were talking about like getting new glasses. And he's like, man, the prices here are so expensive for glasses. And he's like, what's about your textbook prices? I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, he's like, I can get glasses at this rate and textbooks at this rate. At that point in time, you would have thought somebody told me that we were really living in the Matrix. I was like, what? You know, because this isn't, there was no like, what is it called? Zenny or like Warby Parker. Even Warby Parker is not like super inexpensive. All I knew was like going to Walmart for my glasses, right? I lived in rural, little small towns. So when he started to break down the pricing for glasses and for textbooks, I almost lost it. So it's like, these prices are made up. Why is it that they're so less expensive in other places but expensive here, and vice versa, right? Vice versa. So when it comes to pricing, it always goes back to, what are the evaluation criteria? What does it take for you to win? So the way you cut through all of that is by having a relationship, which I'll talk more about in a minute. For those of you just joining, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks, a huge Lions fan. And on the Kizzy Shopping Network today, our offer is our 5-day challenge, $297 for VIP. I'll post a link here. I think the link should be pinned. That's VIP for $297, and executive is $97. VIP is 5 days, added a bonus. You're going to have 6 days. For executive, it's 5 days, 1 hour a day. VIP, it's all saved, VIP better. And you get to ask me questions. And I suggest you take full advantage. Now, here's what's amazing. I'm going to add in something just for each and every one of you, and each and one of you watching the replay. I have a feeling for the October challenge, I'm going to charge for like a golden ticket for people to ask me questions, because the response has been so amazing. And I'm just like, my goal is to have 1,000 people, and we're getting there. So my point is, for those of you who are watching during the replay and you make the purchase and you end up in the October group, you still will be able to ask questions. Okay. So please keep that in mind. Let me see what other questions you have. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Global trading partners. Global trading partners. Okay. I'm going to look them up here. Just give me a second, y'all. Global trading partners. Okay. Here we go. Hold on a second, you guys. Everybody. Okay. Okay, terrific. So this is the factoring company who Isaiah used. Look at that, easy, no minimum term. They're out of California, part of the International Factoring Association. I'll put their link in here. I don't have any relationship with them. I'm not getting any money or anything like that. And look, it says government, which is always nice because they understand how the federal government works. Because though we're talking about pricing, and for anyone who's like, I thought we were talking about pricing, why are you talking about financing? Because if you don't have financing, then you can't do the work. Okay, VIP is always better. So please just take a look at them. Feel free to suggest factoring companies to me, and I'm definitely planning on interviewing a couple. So thank you so much for showing that. How would his business change if the founder was a vet and died? I know credit lines don't change. Is it because of recertifications? How would his business change if the founder was a vet? Because the set aside of the company is based on the majority owner. Unless their child is a vet or whoever buys it. I don't know credit line. I know credit lines don't change. Is it because of recertifications? But James, are you referring to set asides don't change? Thank you. I will be reaching out. Awesome. They're in California, so don't forget about time. Don't forget about their time. The time zone. If due date of bid is after October, yes, Eric, it's definitely worth submitting. Because even though the federal government may potentially shut down, you definitely want to submit. So here are some other tricks, how to bid smarter, not harder. We're talking labor. I'm going to give you all a sneak peek. This is something, it's not that. It's something that I use. Okay. Just give me a minute. Now, before I show you this, I want you to know it's not perfect. Okay? It's good enough. And sometimes good enough is good. So what you have here, and I'll try to increase it because I know some people are like, this font's so small. Y'all just got to zoom in on your screen a little bit. Y'all, I'm trying. Oh my gosh, that's like humongous. Okay, well, that looks good. So here we go. So this is what you would charge the government. This is what you would pay somebody. Okay, let's say you're bidding on a staffing position. Okay, so let's say you're like, okay, I did some research and the going rate is $31. These are just arbitrary names. We don't need those here. Then these categories represent workers' comp, FICA, Medicare, federal unemployment, Florida unemployment, and then you would add in for the state in which the person lives. So if they're in New York or Virginia, you would add in that and remove the Florida piece, okay? Okay. Then what we have here, the other categories are paid time off, holiday pay. There were times where we would offer parking, health and welfare if it applies, or health and welfare could refer to your, your benefits plan. I'm going to end soon. And your general and administration / profit, and then you have your billable rate. So let's take a look. Let's say you're like, okay, for this position, I want to pay them $40 an hour. So then the calculation would say to get the numbers that you want, a 31% profit, you would need to bill the federal government $70.50. Now, for those of you just joining, the number one piece to bidding smarter, not harder, is understanding the evaluation criteria. So if it's lowest price technically acceptable, $70 an hour probably is not going to cut it, because the same applies with services in different positions. So then you have to go back and maybe you have to pay the person less. You may have a profit of only 5%, of 10%, right? So it's about playing with those numbers. Maybe you don't offer parking. Maybe you have a different benefits plan, right? So these are all the things to take in consideration when you're doing your pricing for a person. And this would be an employee, okay? Not a contractor. Does this make sense? Let me know if this makes sense, everyone. Let me know if that made sense. It's a sheet that I use. It's not my exact pricing. It's just a sheet. And I give basically the sheet to my coaching students. Okay, good. Because our pricing is always based on evaluation criteria. Everything that I talk about, we do. We totally do. But it's a great question. Does the WDA apply if you are a one-person company and subcontracting out work? The WDA, like welfare, or are you talking about SCA? Vin G, is it true that you should really learn your certifications before you get them because it affects getting a bid? I would say what's most important is understanding what it takes to win and to bid. That's what is most important. You don't need any certification. You don't need any certification. You don't even need a logo. You can win with none of that. Okay, good. Good. Wage Determination Act. Yes, like SCA. So, Eric. So theoretically, yes, if it requires the Wage Determination Act, they're supposed to be your employees. Where and how do you form your team? That's a great question. So it's about what are you looking for in your team? Okay. So if we're looking for trainers, we will ask our other trainers to refer. A lot of government employees will reach out once they retire and say, I would love to do some work for you. Sometimes we just use Google. I mean, we do that a lot. I'll look for referrals. That's how I do that. And these are people that are going to do the work. Okay. Does that help you? Josu? I don't know if I pronounced your name right. Okay. We have to be a coaching student in order to get our hands on the Excel worksheet? I've been looking for something just like that. For right now, yes. I know. But don't listen, I'm going to create something. I plan on revamping a lot of things. So the answer is yes right now. Just be patient with me. Okay? Just be patient. And I always like to have surprises. So, okay. Okay, great. Okay, good. Let's see. The bulk of most solicitations are filled with provision clauses. Do you submit provisions with every quote? This is what we do. We will provide a Let me just show it to you. We would just provide this, our reps and certs. So you get the reps and certs, you get this PDF right here by going into sam.gov. You go into your workspace and you click the 3 button, like the hamburger thing on the far right, under your entity, and you can access it. It's good for like a year. So we'll submit that, as well as we may answer the questions. Sometimes they'll have very specific questions, or they may say that they still want you to answer, are you a felon? Like, do you owe taxes? They'll ask you different questions like that. Okay? So that's one of the easier ways. Why does the video only have 27 likes? Like, everyone, please like and subscribe, because she's taken her time to answer random questions we are throwing at her. I appreciate you, Dr. Kizzy. Gata, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I always forget to say that. Please like, please subscribe, please share. I really, really appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, my goal is to help take you all to the next level. My goal is to help 10 million business owners, achieve their life goals through federal government contracting. Because I've been there, done that. Been in this space for over 15 years. So that's why when you talk about pricing, I'm not just here to give you some BS like, you add this, you do this, and that's how you're going to get your price. It's more complicated than that. It's still easy, but more complicated, because you always have to take in consideration the evaluation criteria. And those of you who have been on this stream the whole time, or you're watching the restream, there's a backdoor way to all of this, and that's your relationships. When you have a relationship with an organization, you can ask them, what is your budget? If you know that it's a micro purchase, or a simplified acquisition, you already know it's under 250, under 225. Maybe they've been authorized to use a credit card for $10,000. So you already know. And that's way more helpful, because chances are they want to work with you, and they're going to work with you, and they're going to work with you in your pricing. It becomes more challenging when you're bidding on Unison and they want to take the Dollar Tree route, right? So I appreciate every one of you being here and putting in the effort into pricing, because yes, I know it can be exhausting. And I know, especially for those of you who have that perfectionism, because I get the sense of that, don't forget, our card is cash flow. It's never going to be perfectionism. Business is not about perfectionism. I don't think Elon Musk is hanging out and finding his next baby mama thinking about perfectionism. He definitely ain't thinking about that. I don't know the man, but I promise you he ain't. So it's not about that. It's about you're doing the things that are uncomfortable, and you're applying what people like myself are putting out there, and you got to make it work for you, right? And there's ways to increase your profits, but it may be you have to shift what you're bidding on. If you're trying to bid on products and you're running into a door because you can't get pricing, you keep losing, you can't afford to go that low, or you don't want to get funding, shift. Sell something else. It's that simple. You don't have to have the NAICS codes in your account unless they explicitly say so. There's so many things you can sell. I mean, I'm still blown away that Isaiah sold, I interviewed him for my channel, that he sold Samsung phones. I mean, like, really, it's crazy. Heather, I've learned so much already in preparing to my first bid. If a response due date has passed, but the solicitation is still active, can I submit a bid? No, you can't. Clear-minded, they're not going to give you the direct budget, but sometimes it's better. Something is better than nothing. That's true. Clear-minded, it is. Sometimes they give you a range. Sometimes they give you a number. Sometimes listen, this is not the video for me to go into all of this, but I'll just tell you from personal experience, people tell you a lot. Some people do. Not everybody, but they do. I mean, but how is this any different than what Lockheed Martin, Boeing, SpaceX, what they're doing? They have billions of dollars to spend on marketing, lobbyists, politicians. They definitely have insider information. They're over there helping change the laws to benefit them. And I'm not saying that there aren't small businesses who aren't doing that, because what you want to also keep in mind, y'all, is a small business could be making $50 million a year. A small business is not somebody making $10,000 a month. This is not a game. This is a business. This is business. This is billions of dollars, over $500 billion a year spent on products and services to help fund our amazing country for locations all over the world. Okay? So when it comes to pricing, what's key is you look at the evaluation criteria, you identify all of your expenses, and you base your profit on the evaluation criteria. When you have a relationship with an agency, then there isn't going to be any evaluation criteria because they already want you. That's what I'm saying, Joe. That's what I'm saying. It's sad when I go back to Miami because I don't have my lion. I should have bought two, but I'm here in Michigan for a little bit. I won't be back for a while though. But so I got to get the lion in while I can. That's why I was like, I got film in here. I got my favorite roses, got my lion. So these are just some things to think about. How much should I save up before bidding confidently? I've known this for about a year, studying bids. You're never going to be ready. Listen, I'm not a parent. So I'm just putting this out here because I've heard people say this and it just seems true. So I'm just letting you know. Many have said you can never save or prepare enough for having a child. Now, I think people can prepare in some ways, but financially, I think it's the same. You know, like baby's a blessing. Having a business is a blessing. And what's important is as follows with money. You want to make sure you're in the position to pay your bills. That's what's key. Because too often people think, oh, I'm just going to middleman, or somebody over here told me I'm going to make money like this. And so then you have all of this stress because you need to pay your bills. So you need to quickly win work. And it takes time. It takes time to make the business profitable. So as long as you have enough money to pay your bills every month, in addition to doing this, then by all means, you know. I just released a video and I'm going to, let me cut and paste it here. And I interviewed Mr. Durr. He was a government employee for many, many years. He's retired military. And he breaks down exactly what he did while working full-time for the government to grow his business. And before you knew it, he was like, oh my gosh, I'm making more doing this part-time than I am in my full-time job. So he left, he deuced, he was out. He found magic elsewhere through his own business. So, you know, that may be the case too for you. Vine is that you work on your business at the same time. Okay. So just some things to think about. Tanya, I recently received my cage code and submitted an inquiry about your training. What is my next step to get in-depth training with you? So Tanya, the best way is through my challenge. I only offer 8-hour one-on-one coaching for $450,000. Yes, you heard me right. So the best way to go about it is sign up for my coaching. Sign up for the challenge. Also, I will have other pre-recorded things will be for sale as time goes on. But when it comes to me and where my energy goes, it's with certain it's with certain groups that I really want to spend time on with training. That sounded really crazy because I'm getting tired. So I definitely, oops, I think I put the same video twice, did I? Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. Let's see if it'll, nope, let me try it again. So my point is take the challenge. It's $297. You're going to learn a lot. And there will be an invitation to receive coaching, but we are like Harvard. I don't take everyone. That's the other thing I was trying to say in an indirect way. I don't do one-on-one coaching. I only do the $450,000 thing. I don't do phone calls. I get a lot of like, I want to do a consultation. I don't do that. Why? Because I give away so much. You know, I'd like to come on here on Sundays for Kizzy Shopping Network. Number one place to get product or service, help take your business to the next level. Dr. Kizzy Parks, curls or deep conditioning, y'all. Card for today, cash flow. Cash flow. Focus on increasing your cash flow and creating financial abundance. So I do a lot of that. I really take joy in working with those that want to take things to the next level and are really hungry. And I'm explicitly and specifically interested in those who have an 8A. So if you have an 8A or you're looking into getting into the 8A program, please connect with me. Okay. Awesome. So let me give you the other ticket too. Well, actually, VIP is better. So I put VIP in there because you get the recordings. So GSA, and I want to say there was another GSA question. I think this is going to be my last question. The time went by so fast. Did the time go by fast for you all, or is it just me because I'm talking? If the time went by fast, type yes. It went by so fast for me. I can't believe it's been an hour. I know. Yeah, let me know. And also in the replay, did the time go by fast? Did you make it this far? Or are you like, I'm out? Yeah, it went by so fast. It definitely went by fast today. Yeah, we're definitely having fun. I think we're having fun. NSN numbers. Okay, X O'Connor. What do you mean by NSN? Nancy, Sierra, Nancy. Okay, but only two of you told me you're having fun. The rest of y'all must be having so much fun you can't type you're having fun. Just kidding. Okay, so let me know what you mean by NSN. So GSA schedule on things that are and bidding on things that are already on GSN schedule. It is enjoyable. Okay, so here's the GSA schedule. The GSA has these schedules where you apply, and once you get approved, it's like you have the blessing of the federal government. And so then agencies are real cool, real open to do work with you because your pricing, your finances, things about you have been vetted and you've given them a competitive price list. So we're on two GSA schedules, 8A STARS 3 and a MAS schedule for training, right? So we have preset pricing that we have. When it comes to your GSA pricing, guess what, y'all? Where is it? I almost threw it away. The evaluation criteria still applies. If it's an opportunity where the evaluation criteria is not pricing, it's not based on lowest price technically acceptable, I can go to the max of my pricing for my GSA schedule. If it's based on lowest price technically acceptable, then I got to go low. So just something to take in consideration. But I want to add something. There are some contract opportunities, especially if it's a sources sought notice when it comes to pricing. If you identify that you have a GSA schedule and you have the pricing and maybe that you're willing to give them a further discount, that could give you bonus points. Next thing on pricing. I have seen opportunities at service disabled, and you will get, I think, extra points on pricing if you're service disabled versus if you're veteran owned. So these are some other little nuances, y'all. That's why how to bid smarter, not harder is not simply about, oh, I get a price, I add my profit, boom. It's way more involved than that. It's key. Evaluation criteria. Okay. Okay, it's all right, Papoose. Okay, thank you for that advice. So when it's time to get funding, do I wait for the, yeah, wait. I would wait. And I love that you're open. I love that you're open and you're feeling it, that you're going with it despite. I love that. I love that I'm getting from you. Clear-minded thinker, fun and informative. Yeah, it definitely is. So I like to wait until I win things. That's how I am. I mean, if I don't win it, I don't need to worry about funding. I was waiting to hear more about the NSN, X O'Connor. So how does GSA tie into GovCon? So I'll continue on with that, and then I'm going to kind of wrap a bow on this. And that is the GSA schedule. It's something that the federal government really likes because it's easier to purchase from you. And they also will already know the pricing. Let's just say yours truly won a contract with an agency. That agency already knew what the pricing was going to be. And there was a particular company that we partnered with to win this opportunity that agency knew. We had a GSA schedule. They didn't. We won. I got 20%. I'm getting 20%. We just invoiced them. So you see, by having that relationship, we bypass all of this. It was released on GSA. I'm sure many companies bid, and they had no idea that it was already rigged. Sometimes it's rigged for you. Sometimes it's rigged not for you. But guess what? You don't give up. You don't give up. That's the whole key to this whole game of federal government contracting. You don't give up. Don't fight harder for your excuses and for yourself. Please don't. I've been there. I've done that in many, 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 many places. When I was married, with my health, with just myself, lots of fighting for freaking excuses and fighting for people who didn't give a F about me. I give an F about you. I do care. So, y'all know I like to cut. Well, me now, if you know, I do like to cuss, but I'm trying not to cuss. And then I need you two to love me. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, y'all. Okay, it did. Good. Josu, separating from military, master's degree. Oh, good. Okay, cool. Make sure you get your SDVOSB. I think you can actually get it. Mr. Durst said he got his before he left the federal government. And I'm not sure if you can still get it while you're active duty, though. He was retired. Okay. I would look into it. Okay. National stock number. They sign this number to a product they buy frequently, but the exact specs are tied to an NS number, which is hard to find. So X O'Connor, what are these buys through? Is this through DIBS? What is this NSN through? I predominantly sell services, millions and millions of dollars in services. We've sold products, but you gotta walk me through, help me out, help us all understand. Is this something on DIBS? Is this on a GSA schedule? Is this on SAM? Where are you seeing that they have this request for an NSN? Because I've come across different product opportunities on Unison. I haven't seen an NSN. I'm not saying that they don't ask for an NSN. Just help us out. Just help me out. Okay. January 20, I'm starting my pavement construction company. We're looking higher. Okay. So this is what I would suggest, Josu. Why not work for somebody who does this for like 6 months to a year, learn the game, and then start your own? I'm not saying not to start your business. I'm just saying maybe you postpone it or you do both. Why not? Shoot, Frank Lloyd Wright did that. I went on this beautiful tour of his homes in Chicago, and I learned that they have these homes. They call them the Frank Lloyd Wright bootleg homes. You can look it up. They call it the bootleg homes. He was working for an architecture firm, and on the side, he designed homes for people. Isn't that awesome? I think it's so cool. And I think it's amazing. So I suggest you do that. Yes. Marty. Yeah, anytime. I'm here to answer your questions. That's why I love going live. You know, I have the Kizzy News Network. Did that the other day. I have the Kizzy Shopping Network, #1 place for product or service to help take your business to the next level. Card for today's cash flow. focus on increasing your cash flow and creating financial abundance. That's what, and my end goal is to help 10 million companies, 10 million small businesses, entrepreneurs, amazing people like yourself who want to achieve your goals through federal government contracting. And there's going to be more. I'm going to end up doing more and more, y'all. I know I'm going to do more with my intuition. I'm going to do more with just motivation. There's just going to be way more than just Kizzy Parks and government contracting. This is a phase in my life. And so this is a perfect time to take full advantage, because there's going to be a time when Dr. Kizzy Parks with the beautiful curls that are in being deep conditioned is not going to be in government contracting. So take full advantage. And also, just so you know too, we're in the middle of bidding. I just submitted for a multi-billion-dollar contract vehicle. We're submitting for some training. We're submitting, what else are we submitting? Waiting on the research stuff. We have a recompete. I mean, we're working on stuff too. So I'm not speaking about what I did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm speaking about stuff like we do. And I'm sharing with you strategies that my coaching students use. One of my amazing coaching students, she's won 2 contracts in like the past few weeks. Her coaching program is just about to end. She's been with me for not even 3 months. And she did a lot of things that people would be like, oh, you can't do that. Well, she did, and she won. That's why it's more than just what do I price. Evaluation criteria, relationships are so important. VHA ICSP. Okay, Eagle 2017. What does the heck that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean Detroit Lions #1 for life? Okay, so I'm going to miss out this 5-day challenge. That's okay. You can get in October. You're appreciated too, Patrick. I love and adore each and every one of you. As long as y'all ain't trying to come up here and do some got me moment, because then that's just weird. Okay. I'm 9 years military service, road and airfield. I have a good idea what needs to be done. I have a whole game plan working for. Okay, cool. Listen, I'm not trying to, knock the hustle. I ain't trying to do that. I'm just saying, feel free. Because I'll close with this. I know we're talking about pricing smarter, not harder. I want to put something out there. Oh, Eagles. I was like, what is happening? Thank you. Okay, before I go to my last point. Eagles, VHA, I don't think so. The one that we bid was a GSA contract for training. And what I want to say is, there's nothing wrong with having a full-time job and doing this on the side. There's nothing wrong with working for the federal government and doing this on the side. There's nothing wrong with working for a government contracting company and doing this on the side. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's a great way to get paid to learn. I know there's several people that I met that did that. I didn't. I just started out of graduate school and was like, woo! That's why they say that successful entrepreneurs are usually way older than what you think. I mean, I'm forever 28, so shoot, I started government contracting when I was 10. Okay, James, that was a good question. James. Eagle 2017, that was a good question. It was a training and development opportunity for Department of Defense. I'm not going to say who, but it's for Department of Defense. Okay, I love it. Love the networking that's going on here. Oh, here, let me put the Facebook link in here. Right on. Thanks for the content. Keep sharing, and we'll keep landing contracts. Hell yeah, y'all will. Y'all are going to keep crushing it. There's so many people who are winning right now in the Facebook group, and I know a lot of it has to do with the fourth quarter. So just keep at it. Will the 5-day? Yes. You buy VIP? Yes. VIP. Buy VIP, and you will. Okay. Patrick. Yeah, you're right, Patrick. And check out that video, the Mr. Durr video. Let me put the link up here again. He worked for the government and then he retired. So I'm going to put the link up here one more time. Yeah, that's, to say that's something where we've done some unsolicited proposals, but it was typically those who we knew. I tried to do an unsolicited to somebody who didn't know us, and that did not work out well, but it was cute. I'm late. Yeah, of course, Avery, this will be available for replay. I'm so glad that you jumped in too. I'm really happy you jumped in. So definitely you replay is here for you. And also the offer for today in Kizzy Shopping Network is the 5-day challenge. VIP is always better. So I'm only going to put the VIP link up here. The executive link is pinned somewhere. So I have it. Eagles 2017 just wrote that. And for those of you, so here's the deal. For those of you who buy today for this September challenge, you will get an extra day. Okay. Next, for any of you who buy and you are like, listen, I want to do it in October, I will make sure you can still ask questions with VIP because we've had such a huge response that more than likely we're going to charge people to ask questions during the VIP. Or maybe I have 3 pricing. I mean, this would just be way easier, right? Like a $497, $297, and a $97 is what it's going to be. Okay, so just so we're all on the same page. Okay, just want to make sure you all know that. I know you know that. We got it. We got it. We got it. Bam. So how can supplier diversity programs help with government contracting? I have my views on supplier diversity programs. So if you want to provide more context on what you're thinking of when it comes to that, I'll provide kind of my thoughts, and then I'm going to go to bed because I am definitely, my brain has stopped working. So here's my thoughts. Typically, commercial nonprofit organizations love supplier diversity programs. They may have somebody in charge. You can go to a beautiful website and you can apply to be a diverse supplier. There's staffing companies that do this. There's all kinds of companies who are looking for this. From the federal government side, a diverse supplier is a small business, an 8A, Indian-owned, Alaska Native, Native Hawaiian, veteran-owned, service-disabled veteran-owned, woman-owned, economically disadvantaged, right? So in the federal government, it's about having the certification and meeting the requirements. On the commercial side, some may require, for instance, that you have the like a woman-owned, the WeBank certification, or there's also LGBT plus groups that provide certification. They may require that you have that. Got it. But in the federal government, you have to have one of these to fit the category that I just mentioned, right? So with all that said, just being a small business is enough. It's more than enough. You know, this is one of the main reasons the 8A was created, contrary to what people think. They think it was created to help Black people. It wasn't. It was created to make sure that the federal government allowed for small businesses to be able to bid on opportunities. So, and for subcontracting to happen. I have a great video about this, I believe, that's posted. So with all that said, what's key in the federal government space is narrowing your competition. And one way to do that is by bidding on small business set-asides. The other way, because we're talking about how to price smarter, not harder, the other way to do that is by having relationships. When you have a relationship with a government agency, you're going to know information. You're going to know about their pricing. You're going to know about their needs. You're going to know all these different things. So you're totally at an advantage, and you don't have to go through all of this BS to win. Avery, it's okay. It's a mixture. It's for everyone because there's going to be something that you take away. So just want you to know that. Feel free to hold off too. Like there's no pressure. There's no pressure at the Kizzy Shopping Network. We're not here to pressure you. Here to take you to the next level. Can you explain, Patrick, my brother is a Marine, what are some things he may know that's good in GovCon? I'd love to know. Okay. That's good. Should I contract the subcontractor before I bid as a prime? If you need something from them, if you don't need anything from them, then no. So this is what I mean. If they ask you for like for instance, we had bid with the Bureaus of Prison, there was a need for a pharmacy tech. So the pharmacy tech had to have insurance. So we needed their resume and insurance. So we had to post ads for a pharmacy tech, right? So did that. Let's see. If you need pricing for something, you can contact them, but it doesn't mean you have to do business with them. That's one of the mistakes that people make. They think, oh, well, I contacted Jones Cleaners or Jones Janitorial or Steve's Fencing. You don't have to do business with any of these people. It's just put out there to get the pricing from these different vendors. So, well, it is that time to go to bed. Very important. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Don't forget the card for today is cash flow, okay? Take inspired action toward your financial goals and watch as your cash flow increases. This is important. Really, really important. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here today, for liking, subscribing, for taking full advantage of the 5-day challenge and of, I was looking at my goals because my goals have 1,000 people in my challenge at a time. That is my goal, and I know it will happen. The goal is to also help 10 million of you in this space so you can realize your goals and dreams through government contracting. It's to give and give and give more than anybody else gives in this space, because I already know I am, and I will continue doing it. And I appreciate you for being on this journey as I also evolve into other things and doing other things. So I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button. The restream will be here. Thank you all for always being here. And yeah, I will be here next Sunday. Eagle 17. Yeah, it's definitely for staffing. My main business, KPC, we predominantly do staffing. So heck yeah. No, thank you, clear-minded. Uh-oh, Alexa, stop. I know I have to cut my vegetables. I got to do that soon. I went to the farmer's market on Saturday. So for example, joining the National Minority Supplier Diversity Program, be part of the $1 billion. EBRO has no effect on the federal government. Has none. All the set-asides I mentioned, service disabled, small business, woman-owned, Buy Indian Act, Native Hawaiian, veteran-owned, service disabled, all of those. You all got it. I know the Dolphins kicked butt, didn't they? I love the Dolphins too, because I also like the U. I like my Lions. I like Colorado. I like University of Michigan. I like Michigan State, and I hate Notre Dame. With that, bye. Everything is possible until next time.